What's going on, guys? I'm MarsBuilt and welcome back to another Minecraft Bedrock farm tutorial video. In this video today I'm going to be showing you how to make this compact and pretty simple to make moss farm that's going to produce a ton of different varieties of moss, as well as produce some bone meal as well for you. The way that it works is very straightforward. We have two stone generators on either side constantly generating stone, and then directly above it we have a dispenser which is going to dispense some bone meal onto a piece of moss, which is going to cause that moss to grow directly below it. Once that moss is grown, it's going to be pushed off with a bunch of water streams into a bubble column, which is then going to transport it up top to where it will first feed the bone meal supply of the dispenser. Everything left over after that is going to make its way into either the moss storage or into the bone meal storage on the left. I'm sure you know the drill by now. A farm like this does need to be chunk aligned. That way I can guarantee the reliability and the performance of this farm. So if you need help with that, click the link at the top right, or there's going to be a resource pack down inside the description below to help you chunk align this. Now we're going to be calling this the front of the farm because it has all of the chests. However, the power switch is actually over here at the back of the farm, which is going to be straddled between these two etho hopper clocks. So to get started building this, we're going to figure out which way the front of this needs to be facing. So on this one here, I'm going to want the front of it facing this direction. That way it looks consistent inside of my redstone testing world. So since we know that this front is going to be on this side now, we can get started. So we want to go to the corner of the chunk, which is this block here. We're going to count boards by 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then we're going to go to the right by 1. We're going to turn around 180 degrees and place down a stair here. And then we're going to place down 7 stairs here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And 1 at the end. Turn to the right just like this. And to reiterate that, it's going to be 4 in, 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then 1 to the right hand side. Next we're going to grab us some glass, some pistons, some obsidian, and also some buttons. We're going to grab our glass first. And we're going to go back to the front of the stairs here. We're going to go diagonal from that first stair, and we're going to place down 7 pieces of glass going to the right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We're going to go to the opposite side and do the exact same thing. So diagonal from the stair. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Then we're going to build this up by 1, going all the way across here, all the way across the stairs here. And then we're going to go all the way across this side as well. Now if we go back over here to the left hand side, we could place down a few temporary blocks here and here. Then we're going to take a piston, place a piston down here facing this direction with a piece of obsidian behind it. Remove those 2 pieces of temporary block. We're going to go across to the other side and do the exact same thing. So we're going to place down a temporary block here and here, a piston here, and a obsidian here. Remove these 2. And then we can take this obsidian and bring this all the way across until it gets to the very end of our glass. And then we can place our pistons in just like this as well. We're going to do the exact same thing over here. So bring this obsidian across until it meets up with the end of the glass here. And then place down some more pistons facing towards the center. Directly underneath all of these pistons, you're going to grab you some buttons and place down the buttons underneath every one of these pistons. You're going to do the same thing on this side as well. Alright, so I ended up doing away with the resource pack that made the glass look a little better. However, it's much easier to see now. So what you want to do next is go over to this piston. We're going to place down a piece of glass here and 2 more pieces here. Then we're going to go to the back side, do the same thing. So 1 here and then bring it forward by 2. Then on this side, we're doing the same thing. 1 here, forward by 2. And 1 here and bring it forward by 2. Next, we're going to make a loop of glass all the way around here. So across the pistons, place down 2 here. All the way back across here and place 1 here. We're going to do the same thing on this side, so all the way across the pistons. 2 here. Bring it all the way back across. And 1 piece of glass here. So now we can get started placing in all of our water. So you want to grab a water bucket and you're going to waterlog all of these stairs here. And then on the pistons, you're going to waterlog all of these pistons as well. It is going to flow down and out. Do not worry. And then you could turn around and do the same thing on this side here. At this point, you're going to want to grab 4 lava buckets. You're going to want to come up top here. And you're going to go 3 blocks in from the very edge here. So 1, 2, 3. Place down a lava bucket here. Do the same thing on this side. 1, 2, 3. Place down a lava bucket here. Then you're going to do the exact same thing on the other side. So 1, 2, 3. Lava bucket here. And then 1, 2, 3. Lava bucket here. Once you have done that, the lava is going to start to flow, and then you'll be able to see that that water is now going to subside, and that is due to stone being generated, which is going to block the water. Now you should be left with a nice line of water going across the side here. So we're going to go all the way to the left hand side. We're going to dig this out by 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we're going to dig this down one additional layer. 1, 2, 3, 4. Place down 4 pieces of packed ice here. Then you're going to go to the side to the right of it, and we're going to dig out the additional 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And we're going to dig this down by 3. At the very end here, we're going to place down a piece of dirt for now, and then we're going to place packed ice in the remaining spots. You can take you a button and place on this block here, directly above the area where this dips down. And then you can grab some more water buckets. We're going to place down a water bucket here, and a water bucket here. Next, you're going to grab you some more glass, some buttons, some solid blocks, some redstone torches, and also some redstone dust. We're going to go to the very end of the section that you just created, so to this block here, we're going to go up by 3 glass blocks, 1, 2, and 3. Place down a solid block here, then we're going to go up an additional 9 glass blocks, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Then we're going to jump down here, go to this block here. We're going to go up an additional 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Place down a solid block here, and then bring this glass all the way up until it meets the remaining glass. Then we're going to jump down here. Be careful not to jump inside of the lava, obviously. And we're going to bring this all the way up until it meets up with the remaining glass. And then we're going to do the same thing on this section here as well, bringing this all the way up until it meets up with the rest. Then you can jump back down here. On this block here, we can place down a piece of glass here, remove this button and place down another piece of glass there. And then we're going to place down a button on this block here, place down glass here and here. At this point, we can go back up to the very top here, and we need to make this into a bubble column, whichever way that you see fit. One of the easiest ways is probably just to place down a bucket of water here. You're going to want to grab a bunch of kelp, swim down here, remove this glass block, and then we can place down kelp here. Bring this kelp all the way to the very top. Once you've brought it all the way to the very top, we can swim all the way back down, remove that kelp, remove that dirt block, and place down a piece of soul sand, which is going to turn that entire thing into a bubble column. Next, you want to go to the obsidian on the side with the bubble column, and we're going to start on this side with redstone dust. Bring this all the way across until it goes into this block here. Take you a redstone torch, place down a redstone torch here, a solid block here, redstone dust on top of it with another redstone torch here. Place down a temporary block here, a solid block here, remove that temporary block. Then we're going to drag this all the way across until it meets up with the end here. Then we can go to the end of this obsidian. We're going to bring the redstone dust all the way across, all the way up and over until it's on top of this block here. Place you down a redstone repeater facing this direction on the default 1 tick delay, and then lay you down some redstone dust until it meets up with this redstone torch. Now we can start boxing up the front of this thing with glass, so place down 2 pieces of glass here, 2 pieces of glass here, and then on this side over here we could place down 2 pieces of glass here as well. Then we can take this and drag it all the way across and build this all the way up until it gets to the very top. Then you're going to grab you some buttons, and on the inside of here we're going to go down to the level with the stone here. We're going to go up 1 level, and then we're going to line this entire thing with buttons going all the way across. This is going to keep our water from flowing out and down whenever it's washing off all of the moss. Now from this side of the farm, we're going to go to the left hand side, and we're going to cover up this lava, so bring this all the way across till it meets up with the end of the glass here. And we're going to do the same thing on this side as well. And then go over to the right hand side. We're going to fill this in here until it meets up with the end of the glass, and then we're going to fill this in as well. Then you can drop down here and bring this up by 2 layers. We're going to place down a piece of glass here, a piece of glass here, a piece of glass here, and a piece of glass here. Now on the side of the farm that has the bubble column on it, we're going to start placing in our etho hopper clocks, which are going to run the entire farm. So we want to go down here. We're going to count up by 2, so 1, 2, and on the third block up, we're going to place down a solid block here, and a solid block here. We're going to place down a piston here, grab us a redstone block and place down a redstone block here, a redstone block here. We're going to leave a gap, turn around and place down a piston here, a temporary block here with a piston on the right hand side of it. Remove that temporary block. Then we're going to place down a solid block on the back of that one, and a solid block on the back of that one. Next, directly on top here, you're going to place down a temporary block here, and a temporary block here, a hopper going into that one, a hopper going into that one. Remove these 2 temporary blocks. Then we're going to turn around and place down a hopper going into that one, and a hopper going into that one. Take you 2 solid blocks, place down a solid block here, a solid block here, redstone dust here, and redstone dust here. Then on the opposite side, you can grab you a lever, and place that lever down right here and go ahead and turn that on for the time being. Next, we're going to grab 4 redstone comparators. We're going to place down 2 comparators on top of these pistons facing this direction, 2 more on this side facing this direction. Take 4 pieces of redstone dust and place them in these locations here. Now we can go ahead and unlock this lever here. We're going to take 10 items and throw inside of this block hopper here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then we're going to throw 14 into this one here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Now you can go ahead and lock that hopper again. Go ahead and count these. Make sure that you have 10 on the left side and 14 in the right side. And then you want to drop down to the bottom here. Directly below this piston here, you're going to have an observer facing straight up. The output arrow should be facing straight down. And that's what's actually going to cycle the stone generator. So now at this point you can turn this lever off and unlock it, and then allow the stone generator to start working. And that's quickly going to start closing in that gap there. And then you're just going to wait until this is totally closed up. And once it's all the way closed up, then you can go ahead and turn this lever off. Next, you want to grab you some regular pistons. We're going to go down to these empty spots inside of the glass. We're going to place down pistons in these 3 locations. On the back side of those pistons, you're going to want a button on the back of each of these. Then you want to place down a piece of redstone dust here, and then bring this all the way to the left. On this first piston here, you're going to skip this one, go to the right, and place down a solid block here with a redstone torch on top of it. Place down a piece of redstone dust here with a solid block on top. And then you're going to want a piece of glass directly above that torch. Then you can grab you some more solid blocks, bring this to the left by 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And towards the bubble column by 1. And then on the right hand side here, we're going to build this out by 1 on these 3 blocks here. Then we can grab us another comparator. We're going to place a repeater here, facing into this block on a 4 tick delay. Place down redstone dust here and here, with a comparator here, a comparator here, redstone dust here and here. And then we're going to take 2 more of the redstone repeaters and place them here on a 4 tick delay each, with redstone dust here and here. Next, you want to grab you a dropper, come to this piston here, and then go diagonal to this block. We're going to place down a dropper here, an observer here, facing straight down into it. Then we are going to grab some solid blocks, place down a solid block here, a solid block here, and a solid block here. All of these need to be lined with redstone dust. Grab us a piece of glass. We're going to place down a piece of glass here, a piece of glass here, and a piece of glass here. A sticky piston here facing this direction with a piece of glass on this side of it. Then on the back side, we're going to place down a solid block here, 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 and here. Then you could take you some redstone dust, place you down redstone dust here, here, and here. We're going to place down 2 of the redstone repeaters here and here. Both of those need to be on a 4 tick delay with a piece of redstone dust here, a redstone repeater here on a single tick delay. And then we're going to line this with redstone dust here and here. Down here on the face of the sticky piston, we're going to place down a observer here with the output arrow facing in this direction. The face should be facing directly into that sticky piston. Next, you want to come to this glass block here. We're going to build this out by 3. 1, 2, 3. And in this direction by 1. Place down a temporary block here and a solid block directly underneath it. Remove that temporary block. Then on this block here, we're going to place a regular piston facing in this direction underneath it. On this block here, we're going to grab us a dispenser and place a dispenser facing this direction underneath it. We are going to want to place a moss block on the face of that dispenser. Grab you some redstone dust and place redstone dust here, 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 and here until it meets up with this. And then we could place down a piece of glass on the side of that redstone dust directly above that piston, just like so. Go to the back side. We're going to place down a hopper here. We're going to bring this up an additional 2. 1, 2. We're going to build it to the left by 1. We're going to place down 2 composters here and here with a hopper here and a hopper here. Then we can build this to the left by 2. 1, 2. And we can do the same thing here. 1 and 2. So this is what you should have on this side. And if we go around to this side, this is what you should have as well. Next, you want to grab you some packed ice. Come back up here to these hoppers. We're going to reach across here and place down some packed ice going across until it meets up with the hoppers here. And then we're going to build this out by 2. So 1, 2, and then to the right by an additional 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. At the very end, you're going to want to place down a piece of soul sand. Then we can grab our glass. We're going to bring this glass all the way across here until it gets to the corner, and then bring it all the way to the end to the soul sand. Go around to this side. We're going to place in glass here and bring it all the way to the end. Now over here at the bubble column, we could place down 2 temporary blocks here. Place down 2 trapdoors. You could bring these up temporarily. Go ahead and break that piece of glass, and then you can go ahead and close those back down, remove those 2 temporary blocks. Now you want to grab you a button, and down here on this block, you're going to place down a button here. And then you can also place down a temporary button here, just until we get done building the rest of this, and place down a water source block right here. Next, you're going to want to grab you some cakes, some hoppers, some chests, and also some buttons. You're going to come down to these 2 glass blocks here. We're going to place down 2 chests here with a hopper going into the side, a double chest here with a hopper going into this side, and we're going to build this up until it is 1 underneath the ice. And then once you have done that, you're going to do the same to this side, except you're going to skip a block and place down a double chest here with a hopper on this side, place down another double chest here, and build this up by 4 double chests. And then once you've built it up like this, then you're going to go to this chest. You're going to place down 2 hoppers here and here. Grab you some of the composters. We're going to place down a composter here, and then we're going to place hoppers going all the way across this entire section. Take you 2 cakes and place a cake here and a cake here. Then you're going to place 3 buttons here and 1 button here. Now you can go back over here and remove this button holding the water back, and it should flow down and around just like so. At the very end, you're going to want to take a flint and steel and light the soul sand on fire. Now the only thing left to do is to see if this thing will actually function. So what you want to do is grab you some water buckets. We're going to water log all 3 of these pistons here. Those are going to be our flushing pistons. And then we are going to place some bone meal inside of this dispenser here. You're going to want at least a couple stacks inside of here to give the farm a good jump start. And then we can make our way over here to the lever and go ahead and throw that lever on. And if we've built this thing correctly, we should start having moss inside of here. You know, I said if we built this correctly, we should. What you should have done is place the button down here, and there should definitely be a glass block there instead. Now it should work. That's the ticket. Now we have moss going to the top. So this is going to take some time to get this all filled up. It's going to prioritize this and make sure this is totally filled first before it starts to fill all of this stuff. You might get 1 or 2 inside of here, but primarily it's all going to go inside of here until this is totally full. Once the system is totally primed, then you are good to start collecting stuff out of here. If you want this to only put out bone meal instead of the moss, then you could place 3 levers down here and turn them on. That's going to lock the entire moss side of things, and it's no longer going to collect the moss, and it's just going to forward everything into the bone meal section. The bone meal section is of course going to be on the left hand side here, and the moss is going to be on the right hand side here. Well guys, that's going to wrap up this Minecraft Bedrock farm tutorial video. I really hope that you guys enjoyed this video, and I hope that this farm serves you for a very long time to come. It's a really good farm, it's pretty efficient, and it's never broken on me. Let me know what you think about this farm down inside of the comments below. If you have any farm suggestions, then please drop them down there as well. If you feel like the video deserved a like, then please drop a like on your way out. It really does help out the channel. And if you have not already done so, consider subscribing. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.